It looks like? Yeah.
It has an extender to it.
It does, so that you could, like, in the snow, write your name.
Yes, and it even it comes with like a whole like it has like a whole the thing. It has a thingy. It has a thingy.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I like something about this tells me that this is gonna be one of those things that I don't know how to feel about this yet. I don't know at what occasion I'm gonna use this, but one of my friends said, go use it in the shower, and I was like,
that's a great idea. Because the whole point is to not pee down your leg, and where else could you be okay with doing that but in the shower, because then you could just wash.
I'm definitely waiting for an opportune time, and I will text you the moment I use it so that you can know that I experienced the experience of a lifetime. So thank you so much for that. I'm so thankful. Today about grief. Who here knows what grief is? Joanna was like, oh, we're supposed to raise our fucking hands? And just fucking shit, man. Okay, so I'm assuming the people that have their videos, off are raising their hands as well. So we love you guys. Thank you for being a part of it. We're going to go ahead here and now open up with grief. I'm going to try to keep this as light as possible. I do have some, I don't want to trigger anyone's grief process, because some of you guys are in the middle of your grief process, and sometimes certain questions can trigger responses. I learned that the hard way. I was asking a friend a question about grief, because I was curious to know like her take on it, and she broke down, and I was like, okay, well, we're all at different stages, but I learned a lot from that experience. So that's why I'm going to keep it kind of lighthearted. We're going to try to get through this by, hopefully within about an hour to hour and a half, so as quick as we can. Well, I shouldn't say quick as we can, because it's information that we need. I'm going to try to also follow as much of the psychology side of the material as well. I am going to also explain to you guys a little bit about what I have seen with certain clients and what they experience, when I'm working with them, and things that we can do, to kind of like shift our I got distracted. Shit, man. I got really distracted just now. Okay. So with that said, that made no fucking sense. Let's go ahead here and start with the very first thing. What is grief? Would anybody like to elaborate on what you define as grief?
The emotional loss of a person, place, or thing.
Okay, that is like to the point, Cindy. Rocking it like it's hot. Emotionless today. All right. Okay, who's next? Joanna. She's like, bitch, you did not just call on me. Fuck you. Okay, what?
Grief is like deep sadness or pain. I mean, it doesn't have to be regarding, I don't think it has to be regarding a person, place, or thing. I think people can just feel sad sometimes without even knowing, or grief without knowing why.
Okay, thank you. How many of you guys have experienced grief? Now, I do want to talk about this. Joanna brings out a really good point. There is like a lot more to grief than what meets the eye. And a lot of people, first of all, when I was doing my research and I was studying grief, there's like so many different types of versions of grief. Like there's some people that say there's 7 stages. Some people say there's 5 stages. Some people say there's like, what we're going to primarily be talking about is the 5 stages of grief, okay? But I will actually kind of run through what the 7 stages of grief are, just in case some of you guys want to elaborate a little bit more in a different kind of way, because I thought that was so strange that there's two different types of grief.